All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. In the last video, we completed, hopefully, the employee controller.cs discussion, which was the previous 3 videos or so. Now I'd like to start talking about the view files, because after we do the view files, we're going to try to rebuild the database and see if we can get this thing to work as an ASP.NET project. So, first thing I want to do is I want to go into the views underscore shared or view shared underscore layout file. All right. Now this is the master layout template for our entire application. Every page in this application, it'll be our home page, our employee index page, our create page, our edit page, our delete page. They'll be wrapped, so to speak, by this layout automatically. And that's because underscore viewstart.cs HTML sets layout equal to underscore layout. All right. So let's take a look at what's in here. What you see at the beginning, at least, is a lot of HTML. This says it's an HTML document, and the doc type HTML basically is going to tell us that it's version, version 5, I think, of HTML, the latest version. Okay, we're using English as our language. This is the stuff that's in our header. All right. So we're using character set of UTF-8, which means basically we're using Unicode. We want a responsive viewport meta tag, and that's going to be required because we're going to use a bootstrap grid to work on this with mobile. Okay. Let's see. We've got a title in here. All right, that's going to be whatever page basically we're on, dash payroll ASP.NET. All right. We're using the latest bootstrap. We're using CSS, etc. So you can see the stuff that's in there. I'm going to add another line in here. Href. Oh, jeez. Href. I'm going to add another one here. Link rel equals style sheet href equals .3.3 slash dist slash which this just basically says we're going to be using the latest bootstrap that's available. Okay, all right. Okay, there's our head, and here's our body. Nav class equals nav var expand. What they're doing in here is basically setting up the way that we want our heading to look. This is in our header area. All right, so let's see. pause for just a second here. All right, I manually copied in some stuff that I had, so I want to go over all this with you, every line of it, and kind of tell you what's going on here. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be setting up our navigation bar. All right, the color, etc. for it. All right. And you'll see it when we run the program in just a bit. Okay. All right, then we've got a container. This div, as it says there, is inside of a container. All right, it goes all the way to right there. So this is our navigation area in here. All right. We've got a brand link in the top left corner that'll navigate to the home index page. We have some quick access navigation links. They'll all be on one line. Here we're going to say to navigate to the list of all employees, and this will be to allow us to navigate to add an employee. All right, hopefully that makes at least a little bit of sense to everybody. Then we have what's called our main content wrapper. All right. It's going to be a bootstrap container, should center everything and provide some padding to make it look a little nicer. All right, you see here is this if temp data success not equal to null. It's going to be set by different controller actions like create or edit or delete, the post handlers. This is going to confirm that an operation is completed. All right, because temp data is cleared after the read, this alert is just going to appear on the next page. So in other words, if we tried to do something such as a delete, this will let us know that it worked. An update will let us know that it worked. A create will let us know that it's been added. All right. Then we've got our render body. The HTML that's going to be produced here is going to be inserted there at runtime. All right. Finally, we added a footer here at the bottom. And, it's just going to say basically copyright and then the name of it, etc. Then there's a bunch of JavaScript files here that we're adding. All right. Now, this was a culmination of I went out and looked at other things that I had done, other things that were out there on the internet. And hopefully this is going to work and hopefully it'll be all right. It's not showing me any errors, which is a good thing. So I'm going to do a save all on here and I'm going to bring up the next one. All right. And the next one we're going to look at is under views _ view import. All right. Now this file is automatically applied to every view in the views folder and all of its subfolders rather. It kind of acts like a shared set of import directives. So we can put any import directives that we have there, we can put them in here. All right. Which makes it a little bit easier to see what's going on in here. All right. These using directives add C# namespaces, and this add tag helper registers built-in ASP.NET Core tag helpers. These are things you're going to see as we go on in here. All right. So this first using statement that's in here, using PayrollASPNet, is our root project namespace. It's going to give us access to any top-level classes. All right. Then the next one, we're using the models. That's our domain model namespace rather. That's where employee, hourly employee, salaried employee, pieceworker employee, and commission employee, all those are defined. Finally, we have our view model, which I guess I didn't put in here. I thought I did. So we'll have one more at using PayrollASP.NET view models. All right. And that's going to be for our create employee view model and our edit employee view model. Okay. Finally, again, the last thing that's in here, this add tag helper. This activates all built-in tag helpers that the MVC framework provides for us. The wildcard means every tag helper in this assembly. All right. If you remove this line or forget to put in, it's going to break when you try to put in a bunch of the ASP directives that we're going to use later. All right, so there's not much in there. All right, and that's 2 of the 3. And let's look at the last one, which is going to be our view start. All right, the view start file runs automatically before every view in the views folder is rendered. It's a place where you typically set the default layout, and that's what we're doing here. We do that so that each individual view does not have to declare it explicitly. Layout equals double quote underscore layout double quote tells the Razor engine that every view's output should be wrapped inside of the views shared underscore layout.cshtml file. All right. This file is going to be put in, or also known as injected, at the render body call inside of the layout. Okay. A specific view can override this by setting the layout to a different path. We'll worry about that later. So we want to apply the shared master layout to every view by default, and that's what this does. All right. So that's what I wanted to complete in this particular video. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to close shared now, and under views here, all right, we've got employee with an index, and we're going to use in the next video, we're going to go over that one. So in other words, we are going to go over 2 files in the next one. All right, under views, I thought there was a home folder in here. I think I renamed that employee, so I'm going to go and I'm going to add a new folder that I'm going to call home. And inside of the home, I'm going to add a new view, which is going to be called, it'll be empty, and it'll be index.cshtml. So what I want to do, and don't worry about that because we're going to totally rewrite this. In the next video, I want to go over and write the index.cshtml file for home, and then if there's time also the employee one, and otherwise it'll take 2 different videos. So that's what's on the docket next, and I'll see you then.